Okay, super. So now that we are all on fire, first of all, I want to welcome you to this roundtable, which is the first episode of a series of roundtable we want to organize around the topic of microtheatre. This episode 1, we call it among us, but this episode 1 is called "Can Microtheatre Rejuvenate Theatre Audiences?" Si el microteatro puede rejuvenecer el público que tenemos actualmente en los teatros. Este es el título de este primer episodio. This episode is organized, well, this roundtable is organized by Ferrara Off. We have here with us Matilde, we have Giulia from Ferrara Off and Stefania from Ferrara Off with us today. And Festival Píndoles, it's me. And I hope that Anna will be able to connect again. And Agnese Fiocchi from Groningen in the Netherlands. She's also with us in the organization of this roundtable. So first of all, I would like to just introduce you some rules about the roundtable, how it will work. So, primero de todo, un poco de normas sobre cómo va a gestionarse esto, ¿vale? The idea is, first of all, when somebody is speaking, we will ask you please to turn off your mics. So that there is no noise around and the person who is speaking, we can hear them well. So, fuera los micros cuando está hablando, o sea, si podemos apagar los micros cuando están hablando otras personas. Second, if somebody has a question or wants to add something, please write in the chat, and we will share at the proper time your ideas, your questions, and everything. And at that time, when we share it, you will have the opportunity of open your microphone and say everything you want to say, all that you want to say. And third, please. Well, this is a place where there is a space for all opinions and all ideas, and we all want to respect them. And please trust us, me and Agnese, as moderator. So we will do our best to make this roundtable work the smoothest way possible. ¿Sí? O sea, básicamente las tres normas son esta. Por favor, los micrófonos apagados en el momento en el que no se esté hablando, o sea, cuando no se habla. Si hay alguna pregunta, pues que esa pregunta se apunte en el chat y en el momento en el que sea el momento de recogerla, la compartiremos con el resto de la mesa y habrá la oportunidad para la persona que ha hecho la pregunta para que la comparta y que hable sobre ella. Y finalmente, por favor, pues este es un espacio en el que todas las opiniones tienen espacio, tienen sitio y todas ellas pues las vamos a respetar, y también que confiéis en las moderadoras, en Agnese y en mí, porque todo esto pues vaya de la forma más ágil y más cómoda posible para todos. Okay, so how it works. We will do around these 2 hours until 8, more or less, p.m. in here, at 8 p.m. in Crest time in Spain, Italy, and so on. And there will be 3 parts of the roundtable. First, this short presentation where we present the team who organize the roundtable. Second, and the panelists, and all the panelists. Then a first discussion part who will work around 3 questions that we will launch to the table, and everybody in the table can answer. And first the panelists, will answer, and then we will open the debate so everybody can answer these 3 questions. And we will end up with a resume, with a short relation of the short ideas, the main ideas of the table. Okay, I will tell you again how this will work part by part, but now just to give you an idea. Entonces, Esto va a funcionar con, primero nos vamos a presentar el equipo organizador y los que son los ponentes. Después habrá una parte de discusión alrededor de 3 preguntas que vamos a lanzar, en la que primero contestarán los ponentes y después se abrirá la discusión a toda la mesa y al final habrá un resumen con las ideas principales de lo que se ha dicho a lo largo de todo el rato. ¿Vale? Pues, ready? We start? Everybody is more or less is clear what I explained more or less in, ¿sí? A por ello. So, first of all, let me introduce you the team. We have with us Matilde Buzzoni from Ferrara Off and from Festival Bonsai. Festival Bonsai is an unconventional theater festival which includes every year different microteatre shows. And it's now on its 5th edition. And the idea is to merge, of the festival is to merge different disciplines. And the age of its audience is younger than the rest of shows than in general Ferrara Off programs, if I'm not wrong. Matilde, I've said it more or less the right way.
Yes, it's correct.
Sí, o sea, Matilde es de Ferrara Off y Festival Bonsai. El Festival Bonsai es un festival de teatro en espacios no convencionales que cada año se hace y esto llevan ya 5 ediciones y la idea es mezclar disciplinas diferentes. Y básicamente la edad de los públicos que tienen este festival es más baja respecto a otras actividades que hacen dentro del mismo teatro. En general, así, a grandes líneas. Here we have also Agnese Fiocchi. I do it like this because she's on my right side. Agnese, she's a former contemporary dance. Currently, she's based in Groningen, Netherlands. She currently works as an independent producer for dance and music makers and tries to bridge the gap between theater works and the pop world. She has been collaborating with Ferrara Off for a couple of years as an artistic consultant. ¿Sí? Agnese pues, trabajaba como bailarina de danza contemporánea y actualmente vive en Groningen, en los Países Bajos, y trabajas como productora independiente para la danza y para artistas de danza y músicos, con la idea de crear puentes entre el teatro y el mundo pop. It's my turn. I'm Giulia Poltronieri. I'm here representing Festival Píndoles. It's a microtheatre festival taking place in the 2nd weekend of June, this weekend. So you can imagine how things are going now. And this is in Barcelona. We do it in the castle of Montjuïc, which is like a whole castle on top of a hill in the city. And well, this is the 7th edition of Festival Píndoles. And apart from the festival, from Píndoles, we also distribute microtheatre pieces, microtheatre shows, through a specific catalog, which is dedicated both for general audiences and for school audiences. And we have like a specific part dedicated to youngsters from 14 to 19 years old. So shows which are dedicated to this target. Festival Píndoles, bueno, estoy aquí, soy Giulia Poltronieri, represento el Festival Píndoles en este caso y es un festival de microteatro fuera del teatro que tiene lugar el segundo fin de semana de junio, este fin de semana, en Barcelona, en el castillo de Montjuïc. Y básicamente lo que hacemos es, aparte del festival, pues distribuimos obras de microteatro a través de un catálogo que es específico y que tiene como 2 líneas, una para todos públicos y una específica para público escolar que tienen una edad entre los 14 y los 19 años. O sea, tenemos unos espectáculos concretos para esto. So, this is the team. We organized this together also with the help of Giulio Costa. And so, Giulio, if you don't mind, introduce yourself because we start now with panelists and Giulio is one of our panelists. So, Giulio, if you please can introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm the artistic director of Ferrara Off. That is a theater based in Ferrara, and I am the artistic director also of Festival Bonsai, this festival of microtheatre that we began doing in 2017. If I have to follow the questions, my first experience with microtheatre, it happened 10 years ago because I had to make a competition showing a 20 minutes performance. And I won that competition. I won a prize, the money to make a longer production, but I decided not to do it. I decided to leave the production in a duration of 20 minutes because I understood that it was very functional in a productive way. That is to say that I understood that it could be very useful to do a show of 20 minutes and then do another one of other 20 minutes and then another one with the same dramaturgy. It was like understanding that, hi, Francisco.
Hi.
Hi.
It was like understanding that a production could be done step by step. In this sense, it was very interesting for me to understand that you can spend less time and less money in the beginning, building, creating a show, and in a quick time, get it in touch with the audience. So it was very interesting for me, this kind of approach. Then we met, all the people of Ferrara Off, we met Giulia Poltronieri, and we were very fascinated by the festival she was doing in Barcelona. We've been thinking about how to bring that kind of festival to Ferrara. And we succeeded in doing it when happened that the municipality needed to work with cultural events in a neighborhood that was felt like a difficult area with social problems. And we thought that bring the theater in an area without any theater, any space for live events could be perfect. So we decided to bring microtheater inside the restaurant, private apartments. And we discovered how the microtheater was very easy to bring in where there is no theater. And it was very easy also to get in touch with the audience, again, because people who is not used to go to theater can see something that is very quick. It lasts only 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and if he doesn't like it, he can go away. So we appreciated very much the fact that we could reach another kind of audience and bring them to discover theater, not only theater like plays, but also dance, interactive performance. And so this is the journey we have begun with Festival Píndoles. We have changed in these years the festival because we are trying to get in touch with the problems we have every year, like saying, thinking about the theater is something live, something present, something that we have to think nowadays. And so we are changing it, but I feel that every year it can be an experimental way of thinking microtheater. Microtheater can give us many opportunities to develop many kinds of theater.
Thank you very much, Giulio. Diego and Francisco, you're okay. I mean,
Okay.
if you don't mind, introduce yourself. If you prefer to in Spanish, I will make the translation for you. Okay. I will be happy to do it.
Si necesario, puedo decir algo de lo que dije o...
Diego, ¿necesitáis la traducción en español también de lo que ha comentado Giulio o lo habéis podido seguir?
Él lo he podido seguir, pero sobre el final hay algunas cosas que no comprendí.
Vale.
Yeah, I think that in the end I was not very clear. So, si no, tú no has entendido es porque al final no estaba muy claro, yo creo. Así que luego voy a repetir algo más claro, tranquilo.
Ah, ok, agradecido.
Entonces, si queréis presentaros, si os
bueno,
parece.
Nos presentamos, yo soy Diego Balaguer.
Yo soy Francisco Brusone, perdón la demora, estuve en un ensayo y no pude salir antes.
Somos actores, dirigimos, educamos, pues somos educadores también. Tú puedes ir traduciendo,
Vale,
Giulia.
sí. Vale. So we have Diego Balaguer and Francisco Brusone. Am I right? They both are actors and they also are directors, and they also work in the field, of education.
Y dirigimos el Festival de Teatro Breve de Córdoba.
And they are the artistic director of the festival, which is the Festival de Teatro Breve in Córdoba, Argentina.
Internacional.
It's international festival.
Sí. Y bueno, nuestro festival significa la profundización de propuestas escénicas teatrales nuevas, nuevos y viejos artistas de Córdoba, de Argentina y de Latinoamérica.
The festival the main aim is to going in deep in new artistic proposals from artists from Córdoba, the city where they live in, from Argentina, but also in general of South America.
Nuestra mirada es inclusiva, diversa y fundamentalmente creativa, como hablábamos al comienzo, ¿viste? Como lo es en esta parte del mundo. Acá tenemos que encontrarle la vuelta para desarrollarlo. ¿Querés traducir eso, Giulia?
Si queréis hacer frase un poquitín más larga, yo mientras voy apuntando de forma que, si acaso, os hago un gesto y así vamos un poco más. ¿Os parece?
Bueno, exacto, está bien. Y se realizan espacios no convencionales, adaptados y creados para cada montaje. Tenemos un equipo de escenógrafos fabulosos, que es Rafael Reyeros y Cristina Morini, los mejores escenógrafos de Latinoamérica. Nosotros trabajamos mucho tiempo en Venezuela con Carlos Jiménez, el director de teatro que creó los grandes festivales internacionales del mundo, y ya en aquel momento, en los años 1990, buceábamos con teatro breve también. Se hicieron cosas en los 90.
Ok, ahora sí, un segundo.
Ok.
So they have like their way of doing things from an inclusive and creative way of doing, mainly because they need to do it in order to have the opportunity of doing what they want to do, because it's not that easy. So they always have to find out solutions in order to get to the organization of the festival through creativity. They organize the festival in unconventional places, which they adapt through also the help of a scenographists, Agnese?
Sí.
¿Sí?
Sí, sí.
Which are Rafael Reggero y Cristina Morini. And they also are working in collaboration with Carlos Jiménez from Venezuela, which is very organizer. Perdón?
Grupo Rajatabla.
From the theater group Grupo Rajatabla. And Carlos Jiménez is like involved in like very big international festivals. And they started with the microteatre, with the short theater in 1990. So it's a long time they're working in this topic. Vosotros.
Bueno, cada festival que hemos realizado ha sido único. Vamos a realizar la 9ª edición este año y en cada edición se han ido generando propuestas diferentes e irrepetibles, sucedían solamente esa vez. generamos un lugar de encuentro y una gran movilización de artistas de Córdoba, de Latinoamérica, donde la convivencia entre los ensayos y la variedad de propuestas que tiene cada uno de estos artistas y grupos que crean en base al espacio y especialmente para el festival.
Vale.
Para cada edición.
Vale. So each edition of the festival is unique, and this year was the 9th edition. And what they do is they organize like unique shows which are adapted to every place, and so they are just, you can see them just in the festival. So they're not they do not repeat the same experience in other places. And the festival itself is like an encountering place where they give the opportunity to artists from all Latin America to get to know themselves and to share spaces and to share moments. So this is one of their ideas, and the idea is living together in connection also with the space where the shows and the festival takes place.
Bien. Bueno, el formato es similar, creo yo, con todo este encuentro que tenemos aquí. Tenemos muchas cosas en común. Podemos descontarles que en nuestro festival el público disfruta de 4 obras en una misma noche y es albergado en un espacio común, en un gran escenario donde se encuentran todos, artistas y presentadores, personajes guías que organizan, explican el funcionamiento y dan comienzo a una movilización que yo creo que se completa en una manifestación intercultural única, porque sucede solo una vez. Y intervienen todos los lenguajes en una gran performance de apertura para luego ser guiados los espectadores en recorridos laberínticos teatrales sorprendentes que los llevan a cada obra.
Voy. Vale. So the way they organize the festival, as for Diego says, is very similar to the other festival we are here. So they propose to the public, to the audiences, 4 shows in one night, and there is like a common place where they have like a big stage, and where the different kind of agents on the festival, they meet together. So we have there the artists, the programmers, the guides, and it's unique. Diego said the translation is unique intercultural meeting, encounter, event, and they present different languages, different ways of doing, different forms. And they have like an opening performance where all the public, all the they join together on this opening performance, and then from there they create different tours, guided tours, I would say, theater guided tours around the different shows of the festival. Muy bien, ¿no?
Sí, sí. Bárbaro.
Este festival, a lo largo de los años, hemos notado cómo se genera una motivación tanto en los artistas de Córdoba, que todas las ediciones se presentan un gran número de artistas que quieren estar, que se presentan en las convocatorias, también del resto de Argentina y de distintos lugares de Latinoamérica. Y
produce una energía motivacional muy fuerte.
De querer estar, de querer participar, de buscar ese lugar de encuentro.
Y creación.
entre distintos sectores y lugares donde se produce teatro acá en la ciudad de Córdoba. Y como educadores y como formadores teatrales, hemos implementado como algo muy importante para nosotros, que es la formación de dramaturgos para un nuevo teatro, donde han participado dramaturgos locales. En esta edición viene un gran dramaturgo como Gustavo Ott, que viene desde Washington, un venezolano que escribe obras maravillosas y que va a
estrenar aquí.
Va a estrenar una de sus obras, dirigida y escrita por él, y formar nuestros focos.
Es como se dan talleres permanentes para a mucha gente joven y no tan joven también. Es muy importante la formación nuevos para el nuevo teatro.
Vale. So the festival like bring motivation to artists in Córdoba and around Latin America, because, well, they can say this because there is plenty of artists which every year they join the convocatoria. The application, they send their application to participate to the festival, and they are very happy about the motivational, the energy that they feel from them. So the people are really willing to participate and willing to share their experience. So they say that the festival is an encountering point and a creational point. And as they are like educators, they are teachers, I would say. They are theater teachers. They are also improving like some educational program for dramaturgists about new theaters. For example, with the cooperation of Gustavo Ott, who is a very famous dramaturgist, is from Washington, and who was presenting his premiere at the festival this year. And they also organize like regular workshops for young artists, young theater dramaturgists and play and actors, and not so young artists also.
Bueno.
More or less, más o menos es...
Sí, lo redondeaste perfecto, muy bien. Vale. ¿Qué le podríamos contar? En una de las preguntas vos decís que cómo nosotros nos organizamos para hacerlo, que eso para nosotros es muy importante, ver cómo se organiza cada uno de ustedes y contarles cómo nos organizamos nosotros para concretarlo. Tenemos una organización que nosotros dos somos los que lo dirigimos y lo coordinamos, y nuestra organización es flexible, abierta. Está conformado por un equipo de trabajo que cada integrante tiene claro su rol, su tarea y su propuesta. Con el tiempo, en ese punto hemos como evolucionado para descubrir nuevas posibilidades, muchas veces en situaciones no muy favorables, dada la crisis de nuestro país. Pero si algo nos caracteriza como organización, es la flexibilidad. Mucha y fuerte perseverancia, esfuerzo y creatividad para encontrar la vuelta. Como decimos por acá, le encontramos la vuelta. La producción se lleva adelante con la colaboración de todos los artistas que participan.
Vale. Okay. Pues in relation with how they organize their festival, they are the two artistic directors, so they organize and coordinate the festival. But anyway, it's an open organization where every person who works in it has a clear place in the organization itself. So they work through, well, they always work through new possibilities due to the crisis that they are having in their country, in Argentina. So the main, the keywords we would say they use when they think about organization of their festival is flexibility, perseverance, creativity, in order to go around things. And the production of the festival is organized with the help of all the artists involved. Más o menos, Diego, ¿os parece si hasta si aquí más o menos y seguimos con los otros?
Ok.
Súper.
Bárbaro.
Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much.
Gracias.
So Morgan, do you mind introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey. So I'm Morgan. I'm from France, Strasbourg. It's near to Germany. I'm an actress. You understand? You hear me? It's good? Okay. I'm an actress, author and director of microteatre. I'm director of Tok Tok company, as well the Equinox Festival since 5 years approximately. It's a festival in Strasbourg, the microteatre. By the way, the next edition of Equinox will take place from September, then 60 to 80 is September. The festival Equinox works with artists from Strasbourg, but also from elsewhere. We propose 5 micro shows per day and offer a local music scene in the evening, 2 per day for people in Strasbourg, for musicians from Strasbourg. We are just 3 companies in France who make a microtheatre festival. So it's very, very young, the microtheatre in France. Not famous, but I hope so, it can be famous. What I can say, with my company, I share the theater with people with autism because the company offers artistic pedagogical activities for public difficult, or marginal public, but that's another story. I don't know what I can say more. I think it's enough.
Whatever you want to. If it's enough, it's enough. No problem. We don't have like a limit. Just
yeah,
what you feel
myself, I think quickly like this, it's good.
Super. And then we will have more time to say more.
Of course.
So no worries about that.
Thank you.
Shirley, do you mind present yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Giulia Poltronieri. I'm from Israel. I'm a dancer, a choreographer, and a theater director. And I work as a dancer with several artists, and most of all, in the past few months, most of all in my own pieces. I create my pieces, my art, in a way that it can perform, that it has like the sense of it, and it can perform in everywhere. It can adapt also to stage and also to other places. Like I'm going to perform a new piece in an elevator, for an example, in a big festival in Taula. It's like a big theater in Israel. And also I saw, abroad in all kinds of stages, in all kinds of ways. I feel that the separation between the separation between the audience and the performed art is a little bit, how do you call it? It's like, it's from the past a little bit. Like I feel the new way to experience performing art, it's the eye level. And I just created a duet that going to be in galleries, and I understood that this is the way I want my art to be served for people who goes around it and inside of it, and can really, because like, why do you want to go to the theater? Why do you want to go to see dance, to see theater, to see art? Because we have everything, in the tip of our fingers. We can just see a movie. We can just watch a movie. And I feel, for me, as an audience, I want to go to the theater in order to be changed in a way. I want someone to rock my world. I want to feel. And I understood that with this new duet experience, and also with Do You Love Me that I performed in Ferrara and all, in a lot of ways, and because of Corona, I mean, thanks to Corona, I performed it everywhere, like in the streets, and I saw how people are affected when they are a part of what's going on. It's not just they are sitting and us as performers are, suggesting something to them. We're doing something together. And I feel the role of great art is, first of all, art is like dance, especially. It's like a Rorschach painting. Like, you see yourself, you see a mirror of yourself. We offer a narrative, and then you see your own stories inside of it. And I feel this lack of, and I feel also that great art speaks about us as humans, about what connects us, what is universal. Okay, and the more I will speak about something that, the more personal the more personal my story will be, it will be more universal, because we speak about something that is, that we all can feel as humans. So this is like my new thing, to serve art in a way that the audience is a part of it. It creates a big gentleness. And it's also very important in Israel, like the gentleness between the audience and the performers. And also, as a performer, I feel that I can really connect more to the audience. And and I'm also developing a method, emotional body method. I called it Body Mind. It explores the unity between the mind and the body, between the emotions and the body, and gives all kinds of ways to create reality, physical reality, from the approach of the mind or our emotions. And it teaches us about how emotions looks on our bodies, and how to heal ourselves, actually. But it's just a small part of it. I'm still developing it. I think I will develop it till the day I'll die. And that's it. And thank you.
Super, Shirley. Thank you very much.
Cool.
And I would suggest one thing, Ivan.
Sure.
¿Te apetece presentarte también? As we are just a few of us, I think we can just discuss among all of us, and without giving away, just leaving away all the formalities. Do you mind, Ivan? ¿Te apetece, Iván, presentarte? Ah, estás en el coche.
Sí, no pasa nada. Si quieres me presento.
¿Sí te apetece? ¿Cómo que estamos por aquí?
Sí. Vale,
¿En inglés
pues
te va bien?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no problem. My name is Ivan, and I'm director of the Amateurs Company. And this is a company which produces theater, and we have a couple of productions of microtheatre with Festival Píndoles. So this is actually the second one we premiering this Saturday on this edition festival. And yeah, we started the company like 5-6 years ago when we really didn't think of microtheatre. And I must be honest, when we started with it, we saw microtheatre like a subgenre actually, but participating of Festival Píndoles and doing the work of producing two microtheatre pieces, I've changed completely my mind around that. And I very much agree with most of the things that have been said. And I think it really is a genre in itself, and it offers. Okay, I stopped seeing the image. Are you still hearing me? Am I still there?
We can hear you perfectly. Sí,
Okay,
te oímos perfectamente, Iván.
Something happened on the screen. So yeah, as I was saying, that changed very much my approach to microtheatre. I think it's something super valuable artistically, of course, and also in terms of like the dynamics of time and economics of today. And also something very interesting for the audience, just the title of this meeting about how microtheatre can help to enlarge the audiences and specifically attract young people to the art of theatre itself. Because we're used to these super short, impactful pieces. We can see this in television, in Netflix. Now series are not anymore 50 minutes long. Most of them, not most, but many of them are maybe 15, 20 minutes. So it's a full impact. And on the other hand, I think it forces us artists as writers or directors or actors to really be very focused on something. We want to develop a message, and we want this message to be very intense, which actually has been always part of theater, yet the necessity, the intensity of bringing something in the shortest time possible with as much meaning as possible. So in a way, this limited 15, 20-minute sessions or time frames that we have to develop a whole story, I think that enriches a lot the proposal. And we've been talking a lot about, I've had already somebody talking about how nice it is for microtheatre that you just go and you can go away, or if it's boring, it's only 15 minutes, so it's gonna finish quickly. I think this is sort of something that we're carrying from long productions, that easily we get bored, easily it gets too long, and that shouldn't happen. So I think from microtheatre, we can learn them. We emerge from big productions, but I think big productions have also a lot of things to learn from microtheatre in terms of intensity, in terms of delivering a message or delivering whatever we want to deliver as artists in the shortest time possible, in the quickest way possible, in the most intense way possible. I think we can nourish from both genres. And I think it's a great way really to approach new audiences to theater, because I understand that many audiences and many young people are going to go to see something at the National Theatre at the last 2 or 3 hours, and they're going to get bored, because me as an artist, I get bored. So it's completely comprehensible. That's what happens. And maybe we should use microtheatre, number one, to attract these new audiences and these young people, and give them something that makes sense in the times and the economics of today. And at the same time, learn when we make big productions that we need to stick it to the shortest and quickest way possible, because that's a necessity that is embedded in the foundations of theater anyway, even if it's a 2-hour long piece.
Super, Ivan. Thank you very, very much. And Nuria, we have here with us Nuria. She just get. Gracias, bonita.
A vosotros.
So, Nuria, do you mind introduce yourself? We're just introducing ourselves at the moment.
Okay, perfect. So, hi, I'm sorry I'm late. I was doing my last class today of this year with my young students of drama school. So I was with teenagers and that's, I think, one of the part why I'm here also. I'm an actress, and I've been working with Píndoles, Festival Píndoles, for I think for the first year of the festival, and I've been with 3 shows, and for me it has been a very grateful experience. So hello to everybody. I'm from Barcelona. I know that my accent can reveal it. And so I have to answer the 3 questions that you were asking. No, Giulia? See, is it okay for you?
If you want to, please.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, for me, the first question and the second one, what does the microtheatre represent for me? And also, how does the microtheatre influence my job? I think kind of they're the same answer, because I think that the microtheatre, for me, it's an opportunity to create and to search for new languages and to meet new people that maybe they don't have the chance to see or to work in a big theater or in a big production. And maybe it's a good opportunity to know more people of the same industry. And of course, to create new kind of languages that maybe when you need a lot of money, you don't take that risk. And if you have 15 minutes, maybe with less money, you can kind of try different things that maybe you have in mind. And for me, it has been this. I've been in 3 shows, and the 3 of them, they were very, very different. I think that we could not do that in a long show in an hour. But there's one that we had the idea to do first a series TV that is now on the festival in Italy, in El Bonsai, no? And it was Welcome to Berlin. Welcome to Berlin, it was a pilot of a TV series. We didn't have the money to do the series, so it stayed as a pilot, and that's what we can see in the festival. Then we had the idea to do it in a theater show of 15 minutes, and we have seen that because of the speed of the language, all the young people were like just looking at this. And I think it's because it was a TV series, you know, and all the languages and all the tempo, it was that kind of thing that they are used to watch. Because young people, or at least the teenagers from Catalonia, that is the audience that I know, they don't go to the theater. I mean, it's a drama, what we have here in the theater in Catalonia. And I think I can also say it like in the whole Spain. So I think that's why they were like very receptive with our show Welcome to Berlin. So we've been doing this for 4 years, and now we wanted to do it in a long show for 1 hour. And with these 4 years, we have seen all the things that were working and how the young people were reacting to things and were understanding what they don't understand. And for me, doing this microtheatre with Píndoles, we also do then a debate, no, with the young people. And it has been very interesting that the young people, I think that at least in the schools, they see the microtheatre as a day off, as a day that they don't have to study, as a day like, today we just can chill and we can talk where there are the actors there. And the problem that I'm studying, actually, is in my thesis, in the master that I am doing of education, it's about this. It's about why young people don't go to the theater and how they receive the theater, and why is for them that so difficult to understand that they have to be in silence and to keep 15 minutes watching something that it's not a screen. And I think this is kind of the problem, no? That they are used to, and now I'm in the third answer, I have linked all of them, that maybe young people just are used to watch and to talk like we're doing now in the screens. So maybe when we do microtheatre, they have us just in front of them, and they can smell us, and they can feel the energy, and they can feel the feelings, and there's no cuts. So they have to be with that feeling with them, and they have to live with all that feelings for 15 minutes. That I think it's a perfect tempo. They say that people have like 20 minutes of attention, no? So for them, 15 minutes, it's perfect. And they can learn a lot of values just looking to some people that maybe they don't know. And also these people that they are looking, these actors, they are new references for them. And they are not sexual, how was this series from Netflix? Sex Education, no? That it's now maybe the reference of love stories, and I love Sex Education, but this is from England. Where is the reference from Catalan young people, where they took that reference people, the actors or actresses, and also it's a reference not only for the emotions, or for the kind of values or stories that we want to tell, but also for some artists that they are local and they are professional and they can live doing theater, doing this kind of shows. So I think it's a very complete pact that it's very useful for them. I think I will tell you when I finish my thesis. I hope so. And for me, it's very grateful to do it, because I can feel the young people, what they want, why if they're interested or not. And also as an artist to create and just to try, and maybe if it doesn't work, it's 15 minutes, so it was not that expensive, and I can invest in another kind of creation. That was my presentation.
Super, Nuria, thank you very much. Moltes gràcies.
Merci.
So what I will suggest you to do, if you want to, is I will launch one question. And if you want to, we can discuss. Everybody who is in the room can discuss about it. It's okay? Linking with what Nuria was saying and with the main topic of our roundtable, I will ask the question. So do you think that can microtheatre rejuvenate theatre audiences? Or saying it in other words, I would say, can there be a relationship between microtheatre and the development of a new generation of theatre goers? You have it here, you have the question. If everybody wants to answer, give opinions and so on. And if not, I have a critical point on it, and I can try to be like a little bit critical to see if it helps to move things.
Sorry, Giulia, can you write the question on the discussion,
Sure.
please? Because
Right
it's
now.
very nice. Yeah, thank you.
I put it in the how do you say, in the chat, okay, for everybody. Here you have it. I mean, this is the main idea of the round table. And when I will be critical, let's see what do you think about it, okay? When I was thinking about it, or when in general, when I think about how young audiences, with this connection with short theater, that we are saying that the form itself, the thing that it lasts just 15 minutes, it's something that gets straight to this kind of audience, which is used to very fast consumption of everything. This, from time to time, makes me thinking that, okay, probably things are going like this. This is a way it works for them. But aren't we, in some way, like making them get more distance to the long theater plays, which is, I would say, like the main things we are working when we are working in theater plays. So the most plays are long plays, long shows around from 50 minutes, 1 hour, and so on. And when we say that this 15 minutes work with young people, aren't we saying that we are giving them something that they want to, but that will keep them away from all the other theater, which is organized from the regular and standard, I would say, theater forms? You understand me? ¿Sí? O sea, me pregunto básicamente, Diego y Francisco, si el hecho de trabajar en piezas de 15 minutos que funcionan por la rapidez con los jóvenes no hace que les alejemos del formato tradicional, podemos decir, del teatro, pero que también es el que más se produce. Entonces, no sé, ¿cómo lo veis?
Bueno, en ese punto, creo que el festival, o sea, hacer una obra de 15 minutos exige el mismo esfuerzo que hacer una obra de 1 hora y media. No hay diferencia, solo que es más corta. Y tiene como una especialidad, el nivel de producción es igual. En cuanto al interés del público, a la que te referís, Giulia, apunta al teatro joven, y también al público no tan joven. Acá en nuestro festival hay mucha intergeneracional. Se trabaja con abuelos y nietos y padres, hijos, y a la vez viene mucho más público joven, pero eso no quiere decir que no venga público que no sea también joven, por decirlo de alguna manera. Y eso, yo creo que ahí está el secreto, estaría el secreto, a dónde apunta el festival nuestro, ¿no? Apunta, bueno, como a un nuevo teatro, si se puede decir, donde apuntamos a la calidad, a la creatividad y también a la crítico.
Y también a la, perdón, ¿has dicho, Diego?
Crítico. Yo digo que en el devenir de estos tiempos que nos toca vivir, Giulia y amigos, tan un poco ilógica en el mundo. Por la pospandemia hemos pasado muchas cosas.
Vale, ¿os parece que traduzca?
Dale.
Pues what Diego was saying is that for them is exactly the same effort when you create a show which is 15 minutes long or a show which lasts 1 hour and a half, because it's just a different way of doing things, but it's exactly the same effort, so it's not different. So what it says also that the interest of the young audiences is there, but they don't always and only organize their festival for young people, but for intergenerational people, audiences. And which is true that in general the most audiences they have are youngsters. But on the other way, they say that the secret it's just to work on 3 topics for creating these intergenerational audiences, which is the topics, the main, I would say, values they work are quality, creativity, and to create a critical theater, a kind of new theater, and which is something that is also like very important with what happens on the post-pandemic era we are now.
If I may, yeah, I totally agree with Diego. I think, we can look at microtheatre in all kinds of ways. You can see, I saw, 5-minute piece that I wanted to end, and I saw 40-minute piece that I wanted to last. So I think it depends on, quality is like a big word. I think I think what people see, and for me, there's not a very much separation between young and adult audience, because, okay, adults are more polite, but they still, you know, they can still look at their phone and they can still not enjoy. And I saw, from my experience, with my pieces, I saw that if a creation works, it works also on children. I mean, I saw with Do You Love Me? I mean, old people, little children, everyone was interested. I mean, this is why for me, you know, 20 minutes, I don't know, what's the piece? I mean, it depends on the piece. There are pieces that needs 30 minutes, and there are pieces that needs 10 minutes. But still, if the essence is strong, and if it's with great vulnerability, and I mean, I feel the difference is about, I will just say it like that, because my English is not very good, but I think it's about ego. I mean, people can see it. They can see if I'm performing and if I'm talking, from the sense that I want to be heard, that I want to be seen, or if I'm telling something true. And I think little children see it, and I think also adults see it. And if we captured as artists something true, and of course we have the creativity to bring it, you know, well to the audience, that it's still moving, that it's still interesting, so it can be interesting to all of the ages. And I think also small children and also people that don't have the education, when they see good art, they feel and they feel connected and they want it. It doesn't matter if it's you know, any kind of art, if it's a painting, if it's but we talk about performing arts, so if it's a dance or if it's theater. So I think it's a part of our role. And of course, if the piece, I mean, if the essence is not strong enough for 45 minutes, it can be served in 30 minutes long, but it can still be very like interesting and keep us in pace. I think that I think what's maybe changed is that we have less patience, but it's not just young people; it's all of us. So this is our role, to be interesting also with silence mode. Also, if we want to, you know, to bring the piece slowly, we need to be very inside the moment as performers, and to have a very big, like, strong essence to what we're doing. I mean, and to cut off the pieces that are so it can create, you know, pieces of 10 minutes, and it create pieces that last longer. But it's not the essence for me, you know, the long. This is what I'm trying to say. But of course, it's easier to bring it, you know, in easier. It's not very, not easier. It's not the right word, but yeah, there is strength in doing something short, and to really to have every word of it like precise. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say. I'm closing myself.
Thank you. I was thinking when you were saying, Shirley, you were saying that it's not the duration at the end, it's just the intention we put on the show, now on the piece that we work in. But then I'm asking, what do we need to make good pieces, to have this intention? Because I would say that money is not one of the points. We are saying that time of the show is not one of the points. Because I'm saying the money is not one of the points because I'm sure that I'm seeing things which are much more expensive than others and which are much worse than other things that are created with no budget almost at all. So what do we need? So what do we have to find? And if can microtheatre be like an experimentation point to develop this intention in the artistic world? We are, well, you, because I'm not an artist at all, but you are creating. I'm asking this also to Nuria and to Ivan if they want to, or also to Morgan, because you also have a company. So what is needed to make these good works, good artistic works?
Well, I kind of disagree with the money stuff. And as long as I feel like I'm an artist, I'm also a person that if I don't earn money, I mean, I need to earn some money to live. So if I don't have that money, I have to work in another thing to earn that money, and then I don't have the time, and then maybe I don't have the money. So mal que me pese, now I'm 33, and if you were talking to Nuria when she was 20, she would say, "Nah, not money is not important." But I think that now money is important, not for the show, maybe for the time to just spend and be creative and to go to some place to create and to be with all your team to build that piece. And that's why I think that money is important. No, because we need more expensive things to do the theater, because theater is just, it's not just, but maybe theater it's words and it's imagination. So we don't need that money. But I think that with the money stuff, I'm sorry, but I really disagree, because I cannot be, I don't know, 1 month not earning money just to produce the piece. So that's why I need the money to pay my rent and my things. About the quality, I don't know. If you have the key, tell me. I want to do very great shows, of course I do. And I think like an artist, when you see the script or something, you kind of smell, no? If that it's maybe good or it could be or not, but you can just feel that. And maybe for do a great piece, I'm not a performing actress as a physical. I do it as with text. Actriz de teatro, de texto. I don't know how to say it in English now, but that's why I'm talking about the script. But I totally agree about the international thing, intergenerational thing, also international. That's why we are all together like this, no? But maybe with the intergenerational, I kind of agree that maybe also we need, and this is not the parents' fault, I don't want to blame to anyone, but it's linked with the time and with the patience that we were talking. Maybe now we are in a sociedad gaseosa, no? In a gaseous society that everything that happens, you have an opinion, and you can do a tweet, and you can do a message to the world, and something happened, and it has to be right now. And what theater needs, it's time to go to one place first. You don't have to be at your home, and you can not see like this. You have to go to some place, and then you have to spend that time to be patient and to just be receptive what these people is trying to explain to you. And I think this is kind of strange right now. We don't have this patience, we don't have this time, maybe the predisposición also. And I think that some years ago, usually, and maybe I'm wrong, but that's the feeling, and that's what happened here in Catalonia. All the family went to the theater, no, to see a show. And now this has disappeared. But maybe young parents try to go with the children to see some maybe more familiar shows. But I don't see parents going to the theater with young people. And I love theater because I used to go with my parents to the theater, and that's how I discovered it. So maybe I think it's a very good point what Diego was saying about every generation, or Shirley was saying also, no? And I think the point is maybe with the microtheatre, we can also go with all the family and do an activity all together that reconnects with you and with your parents, and we can talk about where we are watching, as some families used to do some years ago when there was no television or there was no car that you can go to places, no? And you only had the theater of your village. But the only thing, I also think that maybe we are wrong. Maybe people doesn't want theater, and maybe we have to accept that. I don't know, because at least why then here the people is not going to the theater? You know, and it's a very sad question that I do to myself, but maybe it have changed and we have to accept that, or we have to reinvent. I don't know. But I really think that quality it's the first step. I really think that. And see, I don't want to keep talking because I will do like circles in the same ideas. I don't know if I have explained, but this is how I feel right now. I don't know if you have that feeling when you see all the public that the audience is not going to the theater. And I think it's because also because of the COVID, a lot of people, at least here, they are kind of afraid. They don't want to see dramas, for example. Only the comedies are now with kind of good audiences, at least in Barcelona. But the dramas, they don't have audience. They are empty. And I don't know, I'm very worried. I'm sorry to be the pessimist one here. So let's just talk another people, please. Maybe you can go up with that.
Nuria, just Nuria, everybody, just one thing. I think that the money thing came out kind of strange. I didn't want to say that we don't need money. All creation process needs money. But what I wanted to say is that, like, for a huge amount of money you have, it doesn't mean that the show that you are doing will be a good one.
Totalmente.
It's just when you have covered your necessities, as you say, basic necessities of surviving through your job, which is logical and basic in all on all fields. Then it's guys, having more and more doesn't always brings you to doing better things. That's what I wanted to say. I don't know, Giulia.
I am very worried too about the audience, in the sense that I think that we all agree that microtheatre can be a very useful way to make young people discover how emotional can be theater, because they are very near to the actors. I remember, for example, the piece made by Shirley in Festival Píndoles was very emotional, in a place that was very large, but you can felt all that she was living and doing, and it's a very big experience. And I'm sure, for example, just to say something about you also, for example, I'm sure that on Sunday we will show the movie made by Nuria, and I'm sure that it will be very interesting for youngsters, for young people, because it speaks about them. The problem that I feel is how to bring them from their houses, their homes, to theater. I'm sure that the quality, the fact that they can stay together in a community and feel something through the performances can help them to discover that theater is something important in our lives, in the space, in the society. The problem is before. How do I decide to go to theater when I'm yet informed by it? I feel that there is one word that is constant in every discussion, and is always, it's a problem of communication. You have to communicate. It's not a problem of communication, because when you tell many times, there is this festival, there is this show, it's not enough to bring people to go outside. And it's not, I think that before some of you have said the word necessity, and it's how do you feel so the necessity of going to theater? This is the question I have every day as an organizer, because I know that when we are here with the audience, something can happen. But before, how can you move people doing this? So I can't understand how to bring again people thinking that theater can be a necessity for our society. This is a question that I put myself every day. And the other thing is about quality, because I think that there is a lot of contemporary theater that confuses quality with something that I feel very superficial. That is to say, the better way to make a play. That is to say, it is perfectly written, perfectly acted, perfectly represented, with lights that are beautiful, with the video projections. But it's not that. I think that what, for example, Shirley said about, I don't know if I understood a word or if you said that word, but I love that word. That is vulnerability. That is to say, the opportunity to leave a theater as the space in which each one of us can express his own frailties. And if we don't give theater this kind of opportunity to get in touch with something that is very intimate, we try to follow what we can see in these things, but we are always less able to do it. So we have to try to understand what is it. Diego before said a fantastic word about theater. It is unique, but how can we, in a certain way, succeed in tell the people that is an experience that is unique, that is about frailty, that is about growing up together, that is all about that. I feel that it's not just a problem of communication. It's not just saying that we exist. It's not about that, I think. This is my problem. Trying to get in touch with all that you've said.
Somebody wants to add something?
I would like to say that I think first of all, we can bring it out. We can bring it to them, to the audience. I think art can be performed also at theaters, and also to bring it to the audience that doesn't know it. Because the way I understand it, we need art as humanity. We need to speak our feelings. We need to feel. Okay, and I think this is what great art does. It brings you a mirror on yourself, and it brings up emotions. And great art express the unity of us as humans. And so I feel it's never about the audience is not X or Y. It's about our development as creators and as art producers, etc. To evolve, to bring it to the streets, to wherever, to show people that, to give this present, okay? It's not just ours. I feel that, you know, the old-fashioned way of looking at art, it was, yeah, we're going to the theater with the family. I, for example, never went to the theater with my family. My family doesn't like the theater at all. Yeah, and to sit and to dress nicely, it still is. It still is. It still exists. But right now, I feel the most important thing. I mean, art is our, I don't know, is our water. It can be our water, okay? And water doesn't need to be served just in one way. It can be served in all different ways in order for the people to know it, because it's a present to them to know it. I can tell you that I once performed in a festival in Be'er Sheva. Be'er Sheva is a city in Israel that the non thought about it. It's the less educated people, whatever. Okay, and I performed it in the street. And before I performed, it was also with this solo. Before I performed it, I said to myself, what did I do? Because how could I bring, you know, my piece that is used to perform in like the biggest and the most beautiful theaters to the street, and not just to the street, you know, there are noise all around and people singing and, you know, like a festival. And it was, I'm so grateful about this experience because it took me down, you know, to earth, because I saw how people respond to it. I saw how people that doesn't have any education, they told me, we never saw dance before, you know, never. But they spoke to me about feelings, and they didn't even have the language to speak about it, but they tried. So this is why, this is was the precise moment that I understood that art is a gift, and we should bring it in all kinds of forms to the people, to our, you know, brothers and sisters all around the world, and we can adapt maybe. And if something is not, you know, if the people, if something is not strong enough for people to really connect to it, we should bring it back to the studio and work more. This is the way I see it, and I think also it's very important to art to be performed, like to try it on audience and to see how people respond, how people feel, they got bored, what happened to them, and to really understand ourselves in the process of it. Ourselves as creators and the essence that we want to bring. Maybe it's not strong enough yet. Maybe we should work about it more. Because if it's good, it captures, you know. I don't know, just thoughts.
Ivan, you turned on your camera before. I don't know if you wanted to say something, if you are if you are able to, because you were driving and so on. So I don't know if you want to share something.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to add to what Giulia said. But I cannot talk now. I'll go later.
No worries. No worries. Thank you. So I don't know if somebody wants to add something more on this topic.
I was just thinking, listening to Shirley, that I just love the way you talk. And I assume you're a dancer, but oh my God, you're a poet. That was so beautiful. I just love that. But the experience that you were now explaining, the one that you were around with noise and everything, it kind of reminding the microtheatre, like the way that you can feel that people so close to you. That's the thing that I really love about microtheatre, that we can really look to the eyes of the, or maybe you're not looking at them, but you can feel it right there. And I really think that, yeah, we need that. We need that. But on the same way, we're kind of, estamos remando contracorriente. How do you say that in English? We are swimming against fluent. I don't know if it has a meaning, because if you go also to the university with the Plan Bologna that we have now here in all the Europe universities, all the humanistic subjects, they have gone. They are out. I mean, that's not more interesting anymore, at least in the careers of the university that they want to do, like media, journalism, and all these kind of careers. And I was thinking, this is a very big problem that we have society right now. So maybe why I don't know how to explain it even in Spanish. Yeah? It's como, what's wrong with us? we don't take that time anymore, and we don't value that. And what you were saying, Giulia, also, that how can bring people to the theater. I think this is the point, because when you put that show in a place like what Shirley was talking, and people can see it, they're just like this, no, like very receptive. So I think that's the point. How can you bring the people to that places? Because even with the microtheatre here in Píndoles, that we go to the little village, sometimes it's hard also to bring the people, and you are in their village. They don't have to go even to the city. And so it's a way of communication, or maybe we need more time to communicate it then people can come. Because also here, what we have a problem is that the shows just stay maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks in a big theater, and then they are gone. So we don't have the time to let people talk about it. And then you have like the necessity that, oh yeah, I have to go there. I really want to go there because everyone is saying that it's just a very beautiful experience. So maybe we need more time. Microtheatre, I don't know how, when has it born, but maybe 8 years, 10 years. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe Giulia, you know, or some of you know. But maybe we need more time to explain to the people what is this kind of new show. No, I just put the question in the air.
I'm agreeing with you, Nuria. I think, and Giulio, the question how we can bring the people in microtheatre. For me, in France, for example, I think we need help. We need help for the public institution, because I think in France, microtheatre are against the big theater. So people go to the big theater, but they don't know what is microtheatre. And we make, from our festival, we make a lot of communication. We have big publicity in the city. We make a lot. We communicate maybe 3-4 months before the festival, but that's not enough. So it's very difficult, but I think it is to in France. The problem is it to educate public institutions to change mentalities and accept marginal proposal. It's good. And I think the point is here. How we can collaborate with the big theater, with the institution, from make the microtheatre more famous. And it's not a problem of community. It's not a problem for bringing people in theater. The problem is microtheatre are very small. It's very, very, very small in the big world, artistic world. I see that in France. I don't know if you understand my English. It's not so good.
I would say that in here is kind of similar from time to time. Well, from the Festival Píndoles, just to give you an example, the first 2 editions of Festival Píndoles, they had a subtitle, and the subtitle was microtheatre outside the theater. And then we had to change it. We had to change it to short theater in, I would say, inspiring places, because the same word microtheatre in here was starting to begin a problem, being a problem, because the idea of microtheatre was something of very low quality. This is also related with some bad experience with some microtheatre theater, because we had some small theaters dedicated just to microtheatre, and there was some problem with it in Barcelona. So we had also to change the subtitle of the festival. So this was kind of hard. That's why we still call it short theater and not microtheatre festival, Festival Píndoles. I don't know if something very related to our context. As far as I know, for example, in Argentina and Latin America, they don't have this kind of problem. I mean, microtheaters, like a word which has the same level, quality, and importance of every other format, theatrical format. But this is something that happened, and I wanted to share here with you. What happens with Festival Píndoles, that, as I said before, as a festival, we have a festival, and then we run the short shows that they are born inside the festival. They created for the festival, and we like sell them all around Catalonia all year long, like in short circuits, or I would say theater days with 2 or 3 shows per day, and we sell them also to public administration. I have to say that when we were able to bring it both to big theater as well as small local theaters. So I think that, I don't know why I don't know why we have this problem, we would say, with the word microtheater. But once we could say the public administration, the public theaters, they trust us, then it works. So it's a lot of job, because you have to speak a lot with them, explaining them how it works, because it's not usual way of consuming theater, because you have to go to the 3 different places, you have to change, the audiences have to stand up and so on, and it's not that easy. But once you got the theater to trust you, then it works. Ivan, I see you there. Probably you want to say something.
Yes, I'm back. Yeah. Sorry about I had just the police next to me, and I couldn't talk then. So yeah, I wanted to add to everything that's been said that of course everything takes time. Yeah, you were saying now that microtheatre is actually something that has happened not so long ago, and yes, communication is one of the issues. But I think also doing great pieces of theatre is one of the ways to make this genre more known and more attractive to people. I think something I have been seeing through the Festival Píndoles is that the companies and the writers and the directors who are engaging this genre, this format of theater, every time it's more. And there are companies, maybe before it was only for small emerging companies that wanted to do something in microtheater, but nowadays I'm seeing in the program that there are companies with a reputation, companies with many years of working on the theater stage. So I think investing like yeah, our best talents into it is also a way to get very good productions that are going to be attractive for all kinds of people. And of course, it's still going to take time. We all know that you can make a very good production, and that everybody who comes love it, and still you have half of the seats are empty. And but I think that happens everywhere, right? We really need to invest time and the best of us. And nowadays the offer is so huge that it really needs time to make yourself like known and make yourself attractive for the big audience. And regarding the subject of what children or youngsters gain from coming to see theater, I was listening to a lot of good feedback about that. And especially during the pandemic time, and we were reflecting a lot on the fact of a life experience, of something that is real and that makes you have a real life experience, as opposed to what we experience when we are watching a movie or when we're watching a series or when we're watching YouTube. Yeah, I think this is the main strength we have as a life arts mean of communication. And this is something we have to explore it. And this is something that unfortunately, yeah, it's competing very unfairly against these other medias, right? Because for me, it's also very comfortable. You know, I'm at home and it's 8 p.m. in the evening and it's like, oh, you know, I feel lazy about going out, and just I stay at home. You know, I have different options of lists of things that I will never be able to watch because the offer is so huge. But then I remember, what's the difference in my experience? How do I go to sleep? If I stay at home and I watch something, how does that affect my level of energy, my level of engagement with the world, with myself, with other people? Yeah, sometimes I watch a series and yeah, most of the times, you know, I go to bed and I'm just tired. I'm just, you know, my mind is as busy or as lazy as it was before. Whereas when I go to see a good piece of theater, yeah, I feel inspired. My level of energy rises. I feel more engaged with the people I've been with theater itself, with society, with the world. I feel more positive. I still have the feeling that maybe we can change something, and maybe the way the world is going with all the corruption and all the politicians and everything going on so wrong, maybe we can do something about it. The level of energy, the level of inspiration, the level of commitment, the level of engagement a life experience bring is completely different from something we see on a flat screen, even if that may be quality in the quality, in a lot, maybe, I don't know, more entertaining or more visual perhaps. Yeah, and this is what we need to work on. This is what we need to focus on, reminding the audience now, feel what's the difference. And this is something we see on the Festival Píndoles when we attend the post-show discussion. Yeah, some kids are full of energy, they dare to participate, they dare to be there, and they're very alive. And then maybe that's a point to say, okay, just feel the difference now and feel the difference when you're watching YouTube for 2 hours. Yeah, what's different in your experience? What's different in your body, in your energy? I think we have a big ace, we have a big point on that to win over on the platforms of the media. And this is what we need to reinforce. And it's still going to take time. It's not going to be like, oh yes, this is wonderful, everybody goes to the theater. It will still be long and full of effort. But yeah, this is, I think, the best path we have to deal with this.
Gracias, Iván.
If I can add,
Somebody else wants to add? Yes, please.
if I can add one thing, and maybe also mention that we have 5 minutes to round up the talk. I was just thinking though that, well, it came up multiple times, the word vulnerability, that we go to the theater to feel the fragility and the vulnerability and the real life, and I was just thinking that I'm afraid that a lot of people, me included, a lot of times do not want to feel and do not want to be vulnerable, and it's just much easier and much less confronting and threatening to stay at home and to just watch something that happens very far from you. So I wonder if it isn't like even a bigger question of how do we get ourselves to want to be vulnerable again, and to want to get in contact and to connect with people in such a unique and also, I guess, scary way. That's just a question that came up while you were talking. And also, if I can add another experience, I am based in the Netherlands, and here too we are suffering a lot from audience not coming back to the theater. And one of the reasons here, I think, is also because people after the pandemic have way less financial resources to spend. And so if they have to choose between going to a concert or going to a party or going to the theater, of course, the how do you say it? The competition is too high, because of course a party lasts the whole night and you can go with friends and you can just have an incredible, huge experience. And so, I can also imagine that if you have 10 euros to spend on your free time, you go party or you go to see your favorite band. So that's, it also has some kind of economical purposes, consequences, this whole pandemic, and why the audience doesn't come back, I think.
I totally agree with you. And yes, this is something I was speaking with other theater directors a few days ago, and they were saying that in their opinion is something which is like is the moment now. I mean, it's something that happens in this moment. It's something conjunctural. It's just now, and things will change as always. I mean, we know that this kind of economical waves that we live in, so things will change in some way, but in some when, we don't know when. We hope soon, but it's related also to the post-pandemic effect, no doubt on it. I would say if somebody else wants to add something, and if not, or after this last ideas, or pues Agnese will sum up. Matilde, please.
Hi everyone. I apologize for my bad English, but I'm trying to say something. Maybe I'm the younger person here today. I'm 24 years old, and I'm also a student. And all the topics related by how young people can go to the theater or are not going to the theater are very important for me. But I'm also a lucky person who has the fortune to went to the theater since I was a child. So maybe the backgrounds, it's important to for the one thing. But I was thinking, listening of all your contributes, it is more important for young people in our situation, go to see one show, one micro theater show, and for the artist, for the quality, for the type of theater, or the whole dimension of festival? Because in Ferrara, the festival was important also for the social topics, for the site of the city, the very restricted area. And I think we always search a balance between the quality and also the necessity for doing the show in that place. But I saw Píndoles, and it's another universe, and the festival is a lot of interesting and also active. It's like a festival, like a party, which the people can also, yes, enjoy theater and also enjoy the fact of being there with someone else. So I was thinking, what is the main topic, the type of theater or the atmosphere, the experience that we can build? Thank you. I don't know if it is was all correct in my English, sorry.
Yeah, I think all of us, we understood what you wanted to say. My English is not much better than yours. I would say from Píndoles that I'm sure that the atmosphere we are able to create is one of the main things for which people are coming year after year. I mean, we have kind of audience who was waiting every year for the festival to begin again. And I think it's well, our festival is exactly organized the same way Diego was explaining they are doing. So it's the same. We have a central part where we have a bar and all people meet all the time. And then you have people who guides you to different places. It's true that during the pandemic, we had to change a little bit the form in order to being able to doing also in 2020 and 2021. Which is we had to arrange like 3 main stages, and in each stage different shows are ruling every night. But I would say the real idea of Píndoles is exactly as Diego explained, is the same thing that they are doing with their festival. And as we said, this community, this feeling of being in community, this feeling of sharing among artists, among also audiences, which Diego was explaining before, is the same we have in our festival. And I think it's what really works. Apart from giving like interesting shows. I mean, not everything.
Giulia, ¿cómo dijiste recién? ¿Cómo dijiste recién?
Dije que nuestro festival, Festival Píndoles, tiene un formato que es igual al que tenéis vosotros, o sea, con un punto central de encuentro, que es donde hay el bar, donde hay toda la parte de, podemos decir, de donde se crea comunidad entre los artistas, entre las personas que vienen y esto, y es muy importante esto.
Los grupos, todos estos festivales, tenemos muchas cosas en común. Qué bárbaro, ¿no? Qué interesante.
Yeah. Sí, sí. Diego was saying that all our festivals have something in common, and this is very interesting.
Es muy enriquecedor para nosotros tener el contacto con lo que ustedes están desarrollando y la fuerza y la creatividad que tienen. Y para nosotros es un enriquecimiento muy grande, muy grande.
Diego saying that this kind of meetings with other festivals who are doing similar thing to what they are doing, and they can share things with, I mean, ideas and way of doing things with, it's very, very important for them. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's 5 to 8. If you are all okay, we will ask Agnese to sum a little bit up the main ideas that were appearing. Sí, Diego.
¿Podría decir algo? Creo que el teatro breve, los 15 minutos, con todo lo que conlleva eso, que el espectador puede ver varias obras y genera una dinámica en donde se produce como una especie de una energía de conexión entre la gente que despistadamente no sabe cómo es el funcionamiento, o si sabe, no lo tiene claro. Y eso produce una movilización y sorpresa, desconcierto, y se interviene el espacio y el tiempo. Eso hace que al intervenir el espacio y el tiempo, no es que yo voy a ver una obra y esa obra y después, bueno, me voy a ver otra. No, es todo un performance pensado donde dura 2 horas. Es un espectáculo de comienzo a fin. En este caso nosotros vamos a presentar ahora la 9ª edición con gente de Estados Unidos, viene Chile, Brasil y Venezuela, Buenos Aires y Rosario. En la 9ª edición lo hacemos en un espacio que es absolutamente interesantísimo arquitectónicamente, que es una vieja usina de electricidad que fue transformado en centro cultural, la primera usina de Córdoba, que es muy grande. Y entonces es un museo que tiene recovecos interesantísimos, con espacios realmente muy ricos, muy interesantes. Y la energía que se produce en los espectadores, en el contacto de ver una obra, de comentarse lo que la otra obra vio, lo que esto, y también se produce esa energía de comunicación, que no es que voy a ver una obra de teatro y voy a estar ahí y después salgo. Se convive ahí un tiempo. Por eso tiene el ánimo de festival, además, que no es el formato del microteatro dicho propiamente dicho, como veo que hay por muchas partes. Esto tiene otro carácter. Y trabajamos con una búsqueda creativa y un sentido. Cada festival tiene un sentido.
Vale.
No, damos para que haya libre creación desde las obras y los dramaturgos, pero cada año nuestro festival tiene una impronta específica hacia determinada estética y temáticas.
Vale. So just Diego was saying that that the micro theater is, we said it's 15 minutes but not just these 15 minutes, if not includes all the other things that which are around the same shows, I mean the creation and so on. And this is and also, like in their festival, they are giving the opportunity of seeing different shows in one day, in the dynamic that this kind of tour, we would say, through different shows creates, and a special energy, like a connections between the people who doesn't know exactly how these things work, and they are just there, I would say, just not in purpose, but just hand up there. And that this kind of connection is kind of discovering all the time for these people, for new forms. And what they do is also they work on space and on time. I mean, they are modeling. They are I would say working on space and time. And they are offering like a show, a whole we would say, not just small pieces, but a whole show with all what they organize in the festival. And this year they are in the 9th edition, where they have people from USA, from Chile, from Brazil, from Venezuela, and also from other cities in Argentina, Buenos Aires, Rosario, and so on. And this year they are doing it in the former electrical factory, which is actually a museum where they have very interesting spaces. And what they want to construct with these kind of spaces and concept is an energy, we would say, which is transmitted to the audiences, which are not going to see just one piece, but they are just enjoying a whole festival based on free creation. And also, however, it is based every year on a topic, but is based on the, but is, as I said, I mean, they are saying like it is a whole in a festival. They are working with the concept of a festival because they want to give this kind of experience. Do you understand me more or less what they say?
Yeah.
Good. Super. So Agnese, do you mind sum up a little bit?
I will try my best. I think there were a lot of amazing things that came up, so it's going to be very hard to summarize. The first thing that really touched me, and I think it's very valuable, is that despite our geographical distance, we all share a lot of similar experiences, and we see microtheater and the potential of microtheater in the kind of the same way. So microtheater, it seems like it's a form that can really travel through space and constantly adjusting and changing to the times that we live in. And when I mean travel through space, it means that it can get out of the conventional spaces and maybe reach spaces where there is no theater yet, spaces that are difficult to inhabit or to make feel alive, and that at the same time they are very connected to the spaces where microtheater is happening. So I'm thinking about Bonsai, the first editions where they were in this difficult neighborhood, but also Píndoles and also the festival in Argentina. It all feels like they are eradicated and rooted in the places where they happen. And that also this format is kind of evolving with us. And that is, I think, a very powerful point. It is also apparently a format that is kind of dynamically going with the economics and the world we live in nowadays, and that has the potential to attract young audience. We have a lot of questions on how to do that and what is the right way, and is it about communication or is it about trying to maybe break away from trying to copy or take example from conventional theater places and how they reach their audiences? Should we do it in a different way? What are we communicating? A lot of beautiful words came up: vulnerability, fragility, essence, risk. Also, what really stood out for me was this idea that when you make a production with a huge budget, it's true, you take less risks, you have more limitations because you are working with more money. When you make a piece of 15 minutes, you can really go for it and dare to go to the point and to the core of what you want to say. Money is very important. We all agree to that. And yeah, we came up with a lot of questions. How do we bring theater to people? How do we bring them to the theater? And another very nice word that came up, or concept, is that in microtheater, people, the space between audience and the work gets smaller, and so there is more possibilities to connect and to really feel connected and united with each other. Yeah. Was that a nice summary? I don't know. Did I miss something? Yes, good. Nice.
Super, Agnese. Thank you very much. And I don't know if I'm doing something very bad, but I will ask you if you don't mind to write it in a short word, and so I can share to the person. Well, we are here, the people we are here. So you have like this.
Give me a couple of days to readjust my notes.
No worries.
I will send it through. Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody can have like a short, a present from this round table, and just to remember something, well, these ideas who came out from it. And well, from my side, I just would like to say that thank you very much for being here. We hope this will be just the first of other meetings, also based on other topics, always with microtheatre as a main idea, but developing other topics around it. And now we are in contact. This is something magical and beautiful that this new technology allows us to do. And I hope that from here, we all hope that from here, more things will come out. And I would say nothing more. Thank you very much again for being here. And we just keep in contact for anything. Okay? Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Bye.
A vosotros
Ojalá
y a
pronto
todas.
nos ubiquemos nuevamente.
Y
Muchos
Gracias.
cariños desde Argentina. Chao.
gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Iván, nosotros nos quedamos un rato. No sé si quieres quedarte con nosotros a hacer un poco de evaluación. Bonito, nosotros encantadas.